I'm about to give you the holy grail of looking hot without spending a single cent. So, you want to look a little hotter. Totally normal, right? Let's be honest. Everyone in the world could be a little hotter. Well, most people in the world could be a little hotter. And now, after this video, you have no excuse. Everything in this video is free. You can probably start doing it right now, today, at this very moment. I'm a designer, I'm a stylist, I'm an occasional model, I know, whatever. Maybe I have some kind of authority on this matter that you might not expect. So whether you're broke, you're cheap as fuck, you're already pretty hot and just want some extra, I don't know, hotness points and tidbits, or you want to just watch me make a fool of myself on the internet, then by all means, let's get started. All right, rule number one is something that I've already spoken about in a previous video. Not because I'm lazy, it's because it's actually just the greatest style hack out there. It is 100% effective, 100% of time. It looks good on every single body, and it just sort of immediately ups your style game without costing any money. And that is tuck your shirt in. It's a pretty obvious one. Your mom probably told you this when you were a kid, or your grandma or somebody. Tuck your t-shirt in, tuck your shirt in, tuck your flannel, tuck your sweatshirt, tuck your sweater, tuck your jacket. Well, maybe don't tuck your jacket in. That's maybe, I don't know. All that to say, like, if you're brave enough, you can shove anything down your pants. If you want to take this idea and run with it, you can do what I like to call in the industry, fiddle with your bits. I know what it sounds like, but you grow up. It's not that kind of video, so everybody calm down. All that to say, roll up your cuffs. You know, roll up your sleeves, cuff your pants, pop your collar. There's even something called like a French tuck. It's a really dumb name for just a partial tuck, like just shoving a little bit of things in your pants. Have a little bit of fun playing with these little tiny details. One thing that I remembered recently that I'd completely forgotten about was like the t-shirt roll, which takes a kind of basic boxy t-shirt and gives it this immediate like John Travolta, Grease, hot boy shit. It's great. Rule number two, embrace layering. Layering is beyond function. There is a certain functional element and certain classic layers that work, like a t-shirt under a flannel, hoodie under a jacket, thermal under a t-shirt. It's great. One of my favorite classic combos. And those are really nice and easy ones, but ultimately there is no limit to how far you could take that. Now, if you follow me on other channels, which let's be honest, you probably should if you're not already, duh. Shameless plug, but you know, you probably have seen me whip up some fucking crazy layers. And one of my favorite tricks, put a t-shirt on it. You know, I'm sure you've got some cool graphic t-shirts and you can literally slap them on top of like any weirdo shit. T-shirt on top of a hoodie, one of my classic go-to. I wear this almost all the time. T-shirt on top of like a collared shirt, like a flannel. I mean, interesting. T-shirt on top of a puffer jacket. I'm kind of here for it. Another layering thing that I like to do is something that I call the rule of doubles. Real classic one, double denim. Easy, sexy, super classic. Double t-shirt can be very cool. Little roll, you see what I mean? It's nice. Double flannel, double cozy. Double jackets, you got lots of pockets. Sure, could be nice. Double printed shirt, that's elite level summer layering and extremely hot boy shit. And I dare you to try it. It's pretty good. None of this is an exact science. It's just kind of going to show you that you can mix and match and play around with stuff that you probably already have in your closet. And now let's take a little break for the sponsor of today's video. Surprise, it's me. I'm the sponsor of today's video. For those of you who haven't figured it out, I have a menswear brand. It's called Phipps. We are the next great American heritage brand, and we make really nice stuff that you can wear in a million different scenarios, a million different ways, and it's just good quality American menswear. If you want to look as hot as possible, just buy my shit. It's that simple. Just, you know, trust me on this. I take it very seriously. So that said, that involves spending money, and that is not the point of today's video. So let's get back to the free stuff. This next rule is one that I'm doing right now. Go monochrome. Check out the monochrome fit. You know what I mean? Look at me taking my own advice. You know, it does make a huge difference and really sharpens things up and makes you stand out in this crazy way. And, you know, I got all brown tones and earth tones are a really nice, easy one. All black fit, sharp as hell, classic one. All white fit, that works too. If you want to do one bright color or something like that, that's a risk and it can go really wrong, but when it hits, it's a killer, but it's not for the faint of heart. But it does really tighten things up and give off this confident, sexy energy. If you want to take that to another level and sort of combine a couple of the rules that we've already spoken about, if you can do a multi-layered, crazy fit that's also tucked into your pants, that's all one color, chef's kiss, man. That is, you might get kidnapped for being just the coolest person on the street right now. You know, you got to watch yourself. Now, this next rule is one that I personally struggle with. It's plagued me since I was a child. And that is rule number 4, stand up straight. Stop being a lazy ass, learn some good posture and practice it. You know, head up, shoulders back. It completely changes the way clothes sit on you and the energy that you radiate out in the world, and helps you as you're getting old. There's just a million benefits to standing up straight. So be better than me at this, at least. It's not hard. But rule number 5, understand context. You know, a lot of the way that you're viewed in the world is like what you're wearing and what you look like and how you're wearing these things and all of that. And there's a sort of science to that. However, I think a really overlooked part of that is where you're wearing these things and how you're presenting yourself in these different spaces. So the way that you dress is like a visual marker for your identity, right? Your values, your ethics. Understand how you want to be perceived in the space that you are going to. For example, wearing a t-shirt and jeans. It's not exactly the most revolutionary outfit, and it works for a dive bar, and it's that sort of situation, and it can be a cool thing, but if you're wearing it at like the Oscars, suddenly it's something to talk about. You know, if you're going to a wedding, you could wear like work pants and a blazer if you want to be seen as artistic and creative. Wearing gym clothes to a really nice restaurant is kind of a flex in a certain capacity versus someone who's wearing like a really nice designer outfit. So it's just something to think about. That doesn't necessarily cost money because it's just changing the context that you're wearing the things that you already have. Rule number 7, don't eat like a total asshole. Like, you can eat whatever you want. You don't have to be on some weirdo like raw vegan diet or something or whatever. Like, do what works for you. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to eat the gas station snacks like all the time. Save that for a road trip, or I don't know, just a little less than whatever you're doing right now. We could all eat a little better. A lot of people like to follow something called the 80-20 rule, like 80% healthy, 20% fun stuff. I just say eat like an adult and don't be a dick about it. Like, make smart choices whenever you can and, you know, do the best you can and figure it out. Because, you know, ultimately, like, what you eat affects how you feel, and how you feel is how you present yourself. So if you want to look hotter and immediately better, just eat foods that make you feel better and don't eat the shit that makes you feel disgusting all the time. This next one, in a similar vein, is the most effective beauty hack out there. I mean, every single wellness expert in the world has said this, and it is totally true. Focus on sleep. Sleep is free. Now, there are a ton of resources out there about how to get better sleep, and I am by no means an expert. I just do what works for me, and I try and get 6 to 8 hours a night. Whatever you got to do to get there, it is 100% the most incredible thing that will make you feel and look so much better. Your face is going to be less puffy. Your mind is going to be sharper. You're going to be so much more on top of it and just immediately hotter. So tonight, go to bed a little bit early. Put your phone down. Go do something else. Don't watch the entire Netflix series. Like, just maybe stop after one episode and go to bed. You know, if you want to take it further, yeah, you could moisturize. You don't need some kind of like 65-step beauty skincare routine that's like Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking laundry list. A little bit of water, some basic hygiene, and a good night's sleep. Hydrate is really important. The rest is kind of just fluff. All right, this last one is like, I shouldn't have to say it, but it is also like super effective. And that's just be a good person. What people don't want to tell you is hot is a vibe. It's not like a physical trait. Like, look at Pete Davidson. I mean, come on, guys. You know, if you are a nice, kind, grounded, interesting person, that is the greatest hack out there. You know, you don't need a 6-pack or designer clothes or some crazy like style to you. You could literally wear super basic clothes and just be a good human being. People are not, you know, they're not necessarily going to remember what you're wearing for sure, or even what you look like, but they will remember how you made them feel. So that should be the most important thing to remember if you want to be seen as better looking or hotter, and the rest will fall into place. And that's it. You know, none of these things are rocket science. It's really a very, very simple list of super free things. None of this costs any money. I mean, technically the food costs money because, you know, you have to buy food, but you were gonna buy food anyways, so just buy better food sometimes. Sometimes. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, do all the things, follow us on other channels, and see you on the next one. Bye.